demo going. Haven't seen any of this game yet. Don't know too much about the teams either, but I think that's not necessarily a bad thing. Alright, I don't know who CVS Pharmacy is. I could check real quickly. I'm just gonna probably just deal with the names I see on screen though. So if somebody has a weird ESEA name, isn't a normal name, then I guess I have to live with that for now. I just need to start making some more NA techniques, I guess. Anyway, Velocity red, Kingscrew blue. See how this starts off with Snakewater as well. Last time we had Sunshine, I believe. Starting off with the Cow Mangler, so ESEA whitelist being abused to hell already. At least only one per team. Anyway, what happens? A little bit of spam on both sides onto the high ground. Deny just top right, top left, depending on which perspective you want to see it. Top left on team's perspective. This is supposed to be Knight. Fallon jumps over early. Wants to just cross point, get damage onto Jared or Sky, whichever is better available. Hits both. Jared wants to cross over. Demo wants to cross over. Aggressive start by Kingscrew. Change up top. I'll try to deny Bob. However, Bob wins that and Fallon goes down as well. They did good damage, Kingscrew, but they just lack the follow up. And Fallon's jump as well is a little bit an indicator of that. He like switched target mid jump. Meaning, sure, they clean up the people, but for a little bit they were just these numbers down. Velocity adjusts late, jumps over, tries to search targets. Similar story here. Ball now dropping down to point. Speedy wants to help out. TVS over there just jumps to combo. And again, similar story as with initial jumps of Kingscrew. It's just a little bit lack of like coordination on what they actually want to accomplish with this jump. They probably just called let's go forward. We lost our medic or something like that. And not too much is gotten with that. And I feel like it could have clearly led to NF's death, and I feel like it should have. Ian Kingscrew's aggression works well enough, obviously. Mentioned flaws here. He wants to force early, is on the wrong door. And much more they can't do here, really. Do CVS as well. Means pretty much no chance on a force outside of like somebody getting really lucky here, or really ambitious. But they kind of just throw away the soldiers like really, unfortunately, time velocity here. And they already didn't have much for second. But neither of them really got to force. Or like in close anyway. To like even attempt a proper force. They kind of were just both looking at doorways. Which is a little bit unfortunate. Means they lose all the progress until last here, where the Uber comes in. Sky has now. It's a silver lining, and Kingscrew tries to make the best of this. Get the sentry, try to rotate over, get the force out of Sky. Nice damage by Stork, gets the force off. NF's Uber is fading already here. They probably knew what they were getting themselves into. Speedy with really nice position there. I really like that. Just denies the exit completely, and half the team wasn't in, and that's not necessarily too surprising on the Snake last push. Like that flank is usually late, somebody's playing late from behind the combo. Tends to often be the case, nobody's lower, and Speedy takes perfect advantage of that. Velocity just needs to find the last few players here, not get back capped. Have not too much trouble with that. So over the last two were spawning open. All over there was still up, gets one kill. Shouldn't be a big issue, they got late kills here. And that's really good actually. Like the fact that the flank was really like far committed with that. Or Velocity. Cause I feel like it would be more suitable for the situation if your flank would try to stay alive. So you have something for second with spawns being relatively forgiving from this position on second to last. For the pushing team on second. So your flank desperately trying to get a kill is probably less worthwhile than just trying to have numbers up for once the push into second comes. Either way, unless you get second back. Want to push into mid. Have ball lead in first, or both scouts I should say, Shamu and ball lead in first, Pharmacy, EVS, whatever. Pushes in from here, so they cover all the entrances for now. Besides kitchen, but they played slow from here. As long as somebody has an eye on that, it's not too bad. It has a stick there as well, in like worst case scenario, I guess. So kitchen is the only area where something could go behind. Played relatively safe. Like Kingscrew don't have yet, but they almost do. So you kind of have to like decide what you really want to accomplish here. They have the sniper forwards, who would have to backspawn back to second in order to switch off, I think. So it's a tough situation. They wanted to play slow here, but they couldn't deny the entry because they didn't have yet. Would have to be close for that and just get walked over. So it's a little bit of like tough decision to make here, and right now it's not working too well. Fallon dies. They keep wanting to take this fight. The sniper is eventually becoming something useful because sooner or later they're getting forced by that. Top of a little bit of damage, but mostly the sniper. Just the sidelining here is just too strong. So they take the exchange. Already have one kill though, so goes a little bit better. Find the target of the CVS still dies to the sniper. Getting a little bit careless there, but Boar with a technically smart wraparound didn't actually see the medic next to him, so never mind, maybe. Actually no, NF is completely alone. So a little bit messy here, but it was better exchange for Velocity to take by all means. Boar is a good sniper, so it would make sense that he knows a little bit how to expect what a sniper will do. Really getting a little bit left alone here. Everybody's taking so long to help out. So mild chaos on Velocity Shamu. Still almost lost that, but in the grand scheme of things it wasted time, which is alright I guess. Kingshu, no, there's no Uber up yet, so this whole delay here is actually super good for them. After this really good exchange for Velocity on mid. So CVS comes in from behind, that's a really good play. It works perfectly in this situation. This is a really smart wraparound from him. They see him coming, but he's already pressuring, and the scout was forward, trying to do other stuff. Not the greatest rocket there. Denies NF. If he can hit the air shot, there we go. It is perfectly worth it. I don't know if you want to directly push here, because they're all gonna sack. You should probably just play careful. And with that expectation in mind. Ball gets blindsided as well. Nice by Jonathan and Michael. Fallon jumps over, and they're lacking his scout now, and Shamu is taking a fight with the scout up top. This guy will probably die here. Yeah, they shouldn't have been that far in that quickly. Especially Boar, but not exclusively him. Although his position obviously ended this completely. They can getting blindsided. Was the final nail in the coffin. But overall, Velocity just needed to chill a bit. Play the heals. And play around Sky. Not be too overcommitted to that like they were, because it's obvious that everybody's just gonna try and kill something. And if they were together more, that wouldn't have happened. Every time something happens though, it takes so long for the other team to actually act of it, that spawns are coming in, which is really strange. Eves wants to go behind Fallon, takes the fight with him on the point, Stock deals with Jared on the point, both lose one, CVS is really weak, and they have changed on Sniper, which I really don't agree with right now. It was obviously already here on second, which makes a little bit more sense. But I don't know. And game on second couldn't have done that much. Then again, he could have switched off quicker. If the situation stayed a second. Find the wraparound by CVS, who was weak already. He took one pack, but he's still at like 110 at that point. Still enough to scare them away. Coming our shots on the point, you know, that's fun. Or with the danger shield, which I really like on last, not necessarily anywhere else. And again, we're dealing with danger shield, we're dealing with, what's it called again? Cowmangler in an A, so it probably makes a lot more sense outside of last as well here. So I kinda like that choice. Because you just don't have to care about fire anymore. Alright, mild advantage to NF, but not really enough to do anything about it. So the sniper's just here for the stalemate now. More spam shots, because that's fun. Gives me a moment for a drink, I guess, and sniper's just rotating. Where's Boar? Boar is over here. Trying to snipe from Saw, not working too well with the sticks all over the place. Like, there could be sticks all over this area. They're over here to deny people actually to going aggressive. Instead of just like multi-peeking. It's fair enough. So, but nothing happening, just as I stated. Change gets a shot from here over onto 4. Change gets another one. On his own as well, which is interesting actually. He was completely alone, 2v1, just takes a shot, gets one of the two. Sort of rotates over. Everything slows down again a little bit. Velocity technically change here. Due to having the slight numbers add on from over on the flank here. So on paper a good start to an exchange, just having like the one player add here. And I guess 2 down instead of just 1 pick in an exchange is even better. Because it leaves like some area really weak, in this case the flank. At the moment Speedy is completely alone. Could just wait for the Ubers to fade, jump in, get huge results out of that potentially. Pretty even exchange, like not huge time lead to anyone. Shabu overcommits so hard though. Stalked in reactor unfortunately. So Shabu might be getting out. Everybody goes really aggressive to help out there. Grab a player behind. Speedy didn't really do anything of value there with the space he had on the flank either. But it's really underwhelming in a way by Velocity. They had like complete control of the flank with like both flank players being down. Everybody else on King's crew was on the combo. But in the end, they wanted to preserve their lives. Shibu still almost dies by overcommitting. And now they just rotate over. However, they get in here at least, so it could be worse. And King's crew still had to wait for numbers to be back up properly. So it's a messy fight here, and getting the damage on King's crew at least. This Velocity stacked the point more than they wanted to actually deny people, and it shows. And they really couldn't. So they lose 4 for 1. Change chases too hard. All of them want to come in here. Speedy survives that for now. And again, they're not quite quick enough. Like if everybody was on the same pace as Change, this would have gone perfect, but it just weren't. Kingsu is just taking too much time on transitions. Like multiple times now. Weird forces happen. Velocity gets 2 on their Uber, forces super late, but they already got 2 and forced them back, so the Uber of Kingsu can't really do much. They're getting forced out. Have the damage right now. They get CVS at least. But that's not really going to change much. They already gave up all the position here. The Velocity is slowly fighting their way in. Still tied at nothing, the scoreline right now. Change back on Sniper, hit some decent shots. Didn't really matter though, because the situation around him was collapsing at the time. Double Sniper allowed even. Probably is, otherwise they wouldn't do it. I would assume. I always forget if it's allowed or not. I would assume it is then. Building with the thing as well. It's always nice to see when people realize that they don't need a scout to build. This building is like on paper really simple. CVS jumps something. Or just jumps into a sentry and nothing much else. And if it's holding on the right side. Which is less common, but with a sniper it makes sense. And Oliver here wants to just bait people into the sideline. For his sniper, maybe get like some annoying spam in as well. Boss sacks in here while the sentry is being moved. Decent timing technically. But I would assume it's just a sack to go sniper himself. Because for one, nobody does that without wanting to go sniper. By Speedy doing stuff though. That's a little bit more surprising. Only like sensible move here would be if they wanted to bait them to a push, which makes sense. It's Snake Water second. That's how like half the rounds on this map are being won on second. But Boar does not go sniper, and they take a little bit more freedom here. Not much, actually, really still passive. But Jarek peeks the sideline. Will go down for it. Gives a pick, up that pick. Technically a decent opportunity to try to get this plane into the sky. Boar just now arrives here and Speedy is still not up yet. So there's technically a lot of space to have. If you want to take it, and they're trying, but instead of just forcing or something, they want to go for an exchange. Into second, I'm not a big fan of that. They have the player at you right now, but still on paper it's not the safest thing to do. Ball gets one on the flank. I don't know if Stock is in front of him and get him immediately because I'm not having the best angle here. The combo text exchange, Ball still in lobby. PD spawns now as well. Both are one down. Demo lacking is hurting, but it could be the end of the world. But what's the goal here of this exchange? Kingscrew were the ones initiating, and whenever somebody initiates with Diva, you would expect them to have more of a plan. But look at Shimu, he knows exactly what he's doing. And if gets blocked off, they just need something lower and then they're fine. There we go, Speedy from the flank. They need to be really nice by Velocity, realizing what they needed to do there. Like I said, the only better way out would be lower, and even that would take a lot of time for anybody of these people outside of second and not inside lobby to have all the time in the world to react to that. So that's like the prime example of what could go bad on this sort of exchange here. Speaking of exchange, change dies as well. All is stuck in as well afterwards. And a slightly better Uber by Sky, and she used early as well. But still a better Uber mattered in the end to just be able to have Shibu stand in the doorway for as long as he did without caring about any damage coming his way. Or in a little early here, trying to chase down Felon. Walks to the sentry, just tries to leave. Gets directed, but they still get the kill on him anyway. And they have much better numbers plus heals. Well, they have even numbers and heals on top of that, I should say. Which is still better by a lot. As long as they know what they do with that. Out gets that, flanks start moving in, Stock alone. Monster slowly coming in, but they haven't lost anybody yet. Up until now, but that's the trade. But they did move in together. Velocity was way too undercommitted to that, I think. If they just played just a little bit more together, instead of split up as much, they could have got one kill after another and kept numbers add up once the players on Kingscrew would be respawning. Which was just perpetually get closer and closer to winning the round. Now it's a little bit of a reset here. Good and bad thing is NF has crits, which I'm interested to see how that will go. And if Velocity know that. Trap on the crate here, which is just supposed to just make somebody fly all over the place. It can work quite well if somebody would be close, nobody is quite yet. Works better if something is here, like the Downman, to bait them forward here. No 6 on the point hurts a lot though. And they have used... Let's wait, where? Where's Anov? Oh, there's Anov. Oh, he popped on the fucking Cow-Mangler. Yeah, that's an issue with the Cow-Mangler as well. Might not want to do that. And yeah, that's just a bunch of unfortunate circumstances. The sentry doesn't cover the point, which is obviously bad. Yet Diva comes from the right side and not left. Which it did. Demoman alone on this side here. Right side, Velocity's perspective, trying to protect himself with the stick, but nobody went for him because the point was wide open due to the lack of stakes. And if your soldier has the Cow-Mangler, then the crit is obviously not going to do anything. So really unlucky round for Kingscrew to lose. 1-0 now. What's the time left on this round? 18 minutes according to the thing in chat. So long one to start things off with. Next mid-fight. Last time Kingscrew was pretty aggressive. Velocity didn't react properly in time. This time Ball takes the worst end of this fight up top there. Change just immediately walks over him. That's how scout fights can be sometimes. Where 1v1s are always a little sketchy. Even if you think you're the better one, you can still lose. What's the reaction here? Jared getting pressured by a scout. They're trying to deny people. Trying to take position top left Velocity side. Doc crosses over as well, just throw some more damage over. Shamu, Jared is almost dying. So Kingscrew have full control right now. All of the back of Boar taking a fight and losing it. Alan jumps over, wants to actually get some kills here. People are weak. Jared gets the arrow, should have shot him. Doesn't matter, that actually splashes both of them. That's really good. Evas tries to make a play, but the scouts were just now falling back as well, so there's no way for him to get in. Which is good by the scouts. Jared is in trouble, and Sky can't really stay with that. And nobody's staying with Sky either, so she just needs to survive right now, and everybody else either needs to get NF or just whoops. Or just delay for long enough for that to work. Speedy actually gets out in time. Surprised by that, he was pretty far committed. So a solid mid from Kingscrew. Nothing like huge play-wise happened, but everything that they did made sense, was solid. After the first kill, they just like did the right things pretty much. Like, nice jump there as well by the soldier going in. I think Fallon it was. They're just playing fast with this, don't want Sky to get this Uber. At the unfortunate cost of having this as solo scout Uber, where Anif has to go super deep and the flank is a little late. So this could still easily go bad. Scout here needs to hit the shots of the Sky quickly, they are making progress if that Fallon comes in as well. The fortunate side effect here is that it's a complete solo, so it lasts exactly 8 seconds. And gives the flank plenty time to actually come in here. Anif makes himself the target, but as long as the flank can act of this, because obviously people are completely distracted by him now, can use it to their advantage here to just come in, deal this damage easily, get in uncontested pretty much. And Jared as well is just completely like focusing the medic down right now, while both his teammates, the scouts here, are just taking like 100 or completely free, which is really good for Kingscrew. So yeah, Shamu just needs to die here. CVS taking high ground is smart enough. Actually gets a kill with that, makes it a little worse. Boss still dies to change. Change in the point, CVS on high ground. Stock is really far back. Could have worked a little better for Kingscrew, but overall it's still working for the most part. Change just needs to survive. Stock being as far back as he is hurts a lot though. So they were really closer to getting this round. And for as sketchy as going in this like solo Uber might have seemed, they were like 1 or 2 decent shots away from that to actually work. Hey Jam, what's up? So Kingscrew was just like 1 or 2 good shots away from actually winning this round. Like this was actually pretty smart play, I would say. How about you? I am watching ESEA demos to know what's going on in ESEA, because I'm not really up at the time when the games actually happen. It's pretty interesting. Let's see, changes sniping, which is not that surprising. The sideline is large. Position-wise, this is a mess though. Like Stalk gets denied by Borg quite a bit. Nobody else is on the combo as well. Change is just up top there. No Scout with the combo. No Soldier. Everybody else is on the left side, and the Scout already dies here. So this is a huge mess, and not what you want when you want to contest make second from forward spawn. Because it's really contestable from that position. Change completely alone now as well, so probably will die. So that was just all around not great by Kingscrew here. It had just way too many holds. Velocity deals with that. He's still 1 down. Velocity already had. We had the situation before. Waldorf tries to abuse the flank. Nobody's checking it as well from Kitchen, so I mentioned before that's like the one area Velocity did not check on the entry last time, and it's like they entered this time from Saw instead of Choke. But once again, Kitchen just goes unnoticed. He goes for the backup. Doesn't have Pain Train, which helps the time on the point. But in the meantime, Anif gets as well, so they can take this exchange, waste a bunch of time. People are now in a tough spot on Velocity, where they need to decide what they want to do like with any of this play. Do they want to take this exchange here? Do they want to go back? Speedy is weak, and that was like the main thing they wanted to send behind. They can't really do much against the backup, and Velocity is stuck in a really tough position right now. Kingscrew wants to leave early with this so they can stay themselves alive. And if it gets out of time, really nice timing though. Uber just flashes, turns the corner. Backup is still going. And like I said, Velocity is in a lose-lose situation where they either start getting backupped or go back and lose mid. And even if they now go back, this will happen. Kingscrew just recommits onto people that will turn, trying to deal with the backup, taking a much easier fight for Velocity, for Kingscrew even. Get the medic, get another player on top of that. Hordog is still annoying. Eventually dies, but they're already here. And the scouts are just cleaning up. So that was a really good backup. Like, you always need something on top of your backup. Just having a backup, like if Kingscrew didn't have in that situation, The best they could have done was try and desperately force, but it wouldn't really be scary anymore. With the fact that they could go for the exchange, waste a lot of time, get people stuck on mid, and have them leave super late, it got so much better. And now they still have this demo and scout pick from earlier, from second all the way into last. And in all honesty, if this fails, it's just downfall. This needs to be just a round win. Like, it can't not be. They just need to shoot things. And they have such an advantage here. Beefing shots though. Yeah, they beefed shots. They just needed to code focus better. There was no demo, they just had to either all commit for the point or all commit for players. They didn't really know what of those two they wanted. And in the end nothing died. Besides Jared again. That's not saving the situation. Silver lining is they have ad still. Because at least they played it like careful to the point where, yeah, sure, nothing died, but at least that included Anna. So they can just come in here, be scary, purely off the fact that they do have advantage. Ank wins that fight, Velocity goes down too, so any hope of actually doing something with the flank play is pretty much gone. Goodbye, Change and Paul to play it safe there. Expecting the combo to be able to take care of themselves. Player is there, there's no setup on last as well, so if you want to do something like somewhat risky, even Uber just straight into last kind of thing, this is the opportunity, solely because there's just no sentry you need to deal with, you can go straight for target. It's still not great, they only have like one player yet. But like for a risky play, it's as good an opportunity as you can get. Shotgun here as well with speedy. Clay noticed that before, I think. At some point. Borgo sniping. Makes sense, it's snake last. Why not? Risky trying to cross the sideline over Anna. Alright. Yeah, way of approaching this is just like everybody going aggressive to the door trying to spam him. Hoping not to get shot and shoot him more than he can in return. Change dice in the meantime though, I don't know where, probably lower somewhere. Whatever it is, TVS tries to make a play with that, get spotted early. Quick reaction. Eventually, the aggressive handling of war will lead to somebody dying, and Jonathan here is slightly too aggressive after the death happened as well. But they give up to Change Go Sniper in the meantime, makes enough sense. Question is if Velocity does something with the kills they have for a little bit here. It says yes, also exchange. And we've seen how bad this can go, so let's see if they have a better idea. For now, the only solution they have is just leave earlier than Kingswood did last time. Shabu takes a fancy way around and walks into stickies. Still not going great. So far we're 0-2 and successfully taking exchanges out of lobby into second. All beefs a little bit there. I feel like he should have just committed, maybe. Then again, the first rocket needed to kind of hit, so he just needed one more, not two, to kill this guy here. So it's understandable enough that he didn't in the end. It's just unfortunate because the opportunity was clearly there to just go for that kill. Not even scoping anymore. He was cleaning sticks, I don't know. Anyway, that's a shot. Finds Jared. Where was Jared even? Down there? Wow, that's an interesting angle. Anyway, they already wanted to play aggressive here just with the sniper threatening the sideline, and it works perfectly. Ball gets taken down as well by them just going aggressive early. Well, and I feel like he should just play point at this rate. Shabu takes his time. CVS is the only one that can really do anything, and if he doesn't do anything about the point, they lose. If he doesn't do anything about this, they go forward and kill stuff, and they do anyway. So it's a win-win situation right now. Valen gets blindsided a little bit, needed to just be careful, it doesn't matter, they get still severely outnumbered. And that is a round for Kingsui eventually. Took them a while. And they beefed a few good opportunities, I'll be honest, on the way. But it is a round nonetheless. As we have 12 minutes left on the round. Alright, again, ball and change want to take this aggressive fight here, and it's still a 1v1, and I really don't like that because it's like the consistent thing that's happened here. And neither of them want to get help, which would just like transform a stupid 1v1 into like a safe kill. In the meantime, Fallon, although aggressively trying to jump, saw not really working, not having like any good target. Speedy takes a bit of damage, but everybody else just reacts, plays. Sky plays careful inside, saw everybody else is just like walking away from that. Not even being that close, so the bomb goes into nothing. It's taken care of. CVS goes behind in the meantime.
The control point is being contested.
And Dickstep coming in here only gets the demo man, delays a little bit, so that might help on the chase onto the medic. But they would have to be real fast for that, and so far that's not happening. Ain't is still on mid. Actually wins the fight against Shabu here. Delays the cap of that quite a bit by some time. She might get them back second, so pretty useful play here. Again, another of the situations where they didn't have much staying power on second without some sort of play, whatever it would have been. So that's perfectly reasonable. I like the collision here that you can just like visibly stand on nothing and it still counts. Alright, so that play was real big by change actually, in retrospect. The move is spy with it. Gets all the way behind. Have a little stalemate. Okay, they're making a distraction play now for Shabu to come in. Nobody's looking behind, everybody's busy spamming. Enuf is not having his back to a wall. Shabu takes pretty close, gets the stab. Nothing too fancy on the spy, just nice little distraction. It was just enough for nobody to pay attention to anything else anymore. Survives as well, and Portdog dies on, I assume, the counter sack. So that's already another kill here. Denies even more potential of something to happen. Where's Jared? Why is he so far back? Let's evaluate the situation. Having the spy is kind of bad, to be honest. Oh, he's just watching flank alone. I guess that makes sense. I was wondering why nobody else is. But I guess if he just stickies himself up in there, it's sensible enough. Even then, it's still a demo, like not being on a combo, which is always sketchy. Still, they take care of themselves. This time playing around Sky a lot better. They did last time we had this situation. And this gets them all the kills. And this is another of those situations where you have to ask yourself, how much is this force worth it? That, sure, it's already a losing situation to begin with. But now they just have 2 on last. We are just getting walked over with 5. 4.5 if you count the spy. Still. Like, there's a limit on how badly you want the force, and that line was comfortably crossed there. Okay, 2-1 velocity, we have 9.5 minutes on the clock. Relatively quick round here to get things back after like a really long, like 12-minute rounds and then 6-minute round. Ball and change, still take the same fight every single mid-fight. And nobody is like adapting to that at all at the moment. Change takes some damage. I mean, Fallon is at least waiting there. I guess that helps. Baits pour over, so got it from Michael as well. The ball gets baited there quite a bit. Should die here if he can hit a shot quickly enough. Bulldog wants to jump in as well again. Into something, doesn't hit a great target, gets taken down as well. Means they trade. CVS wants to get behind as well again. Last time he obviously ended before he could do like proper play, so he just kind of denied him exit, got some damage in with that. Didn't get the big kill though, so same jump there again. Fallon tries to jump as well. They keep jumping top right, and it keeps not working.
Alert! Alert! The control point is being captured.
Which is a problem.
Alert! The control point is being contested.
And with CVS not being taken care of yet, velocity can't just cross like the entire point. jump away there. Oh, now he does it, never mind. Crashes with CBS. I guess that's worse, but that's also better because he's demo man lacking on last now. So Velocity comfortably get this mid, despite losing the first player in a pretty silly fashion.
The control point is being captured.
But this also doesn't steam run out of control to the point where it will just go into last immediately. It will stay a stalemate for a little bit, change to a sniper again. Jonathan has time to build his gun. And so far things are not looking terrible, at least for King's Crew. They can just be comfortably knowing that push won't probably come in any moment at least. Again playing forward with the same setup here, 3 people on the right side. Rock on a point, sentry left, same hold as last time. No scout on the combo is always a little weird. They have 2 off classes on last, so that makes sense. Velocity with the double sack, ball just walks in, CVS jumps it high. Tries to find something. Neither which really find anything. And it is reasonable to assume that they do these plays blind, because otherwise they would probably like get in closer to right side quicker. Anyway, that Adif dies just to nothing really. They're just spamming a little bit. That's really bad, unfortunately. Yeah, that's like so far the worst stuff we have in this game. Like, that was really no good pressure, that was just some sticky spam. And they wanted to keep on going aggressive, but without using in lobby. Which now Velocity gave this huge ad. They pop in, Jared sees the gun before Shamu does anyway. Shamu gets flashed really late here. Like, gun will go down any moment, it actually takes a while. There we go, gun down. Shamu falls back, sticks on the same spot. No sticks point, I would assume then again. Let's actually double check this time. Yeah, no sticks point anywhere. Rock reacts late to that. Becomes the first target though. Jared just pipes him down with some help by Boar, who comes in now late with the flank as well. This time Speedy actually takes care of from coming here, from lower, which is where things went bad before for on the last point here, so being careful on that end. Flank in the late left side to deal with the guy on the high ground. Be able to connect with the rest of the team late. They already got 3 kills, no demo, no sticks on the point. And this is just around. So simple but effective by Velocity. 3-1 lead means halftime. We get a timestamp for halftime? No, we don't.
Alert. The control point is being contained. Alert. The control alert. The control point is being contained. Alert. The control point is being
Let's speed this up a little bit. So Velocity just tried to cover all the entrances. No sticks on the point still hurts so much.
alert.
Like, I get the point of the sticky trap over here, but if there's like nothing that like requires them to stay here and walk like next to it, it just won't do anything. And he had to play pretty far forward as well to put these sticks up late that he tried to get on the point, which made him an easy target on top of that. Okay, second half, 3-1 lead, Velocity. Playing just a bit better here at the moment. Just find better finishes to the plays. Where Kings who have smart plays, they just can't piece them together quite at the end. Alright. So new mid fight. Kings who in red now, Velocity in blue. And let's see what we have with the board tries to cross over as always. Playing really aggressive up top, this time walks into 2 soldiers. Dies immediately, that seems to be the recurring theme of today. Ball wants to control high ground, maybe a little bit too much, all on his own. Change checks in kitchen, then leaves, goes aggressive to Jared, takes a lot of damage, Shamu wants to chase that down. Walks straight into the demo man, doesn't have anything ready though. Change gets back into the wall here. Not quite in time, never mind. EVS jumps forward. Wants to make a play, eats a pipe. Scout is close-ish, can't really get the final shot in though. In the meantime, Felon, Pollock, double bomb. They don't have the greatest double bombs. Felon goes behind though, which takes a lot of time for Shamu to react to. Actually no, they deleted Jared, I missed that. So never mind, I take that back. That was actually a pretty decent bomb. Then they got the demo going and they got a scout baited on the corner, so the second one can just come and clean up. Now it's just a matter of NF staying alive, but it's not looking too hot there. This velocity was already on the move forward.
Alert! The control point is being captured.
So yeah, the unfortunate death by whoever scout died first here, change.
Alert! The control point is being
Help with the later sack there. Like he was almost out as well. Stock just needed to have like something onto the scout so he couldn't deal as much damage. But it happened, and it was crits again. Guy has full ad now. Due to the late kill here. Overall solid mid-fight round. These mid-fight aren't even bad by King's Crew, they are actually pretty decent. Just mostly falls apart on the Saudi bombs. This one had better ones than the last few. Pollock tries to get in there. The falls.
The control point is being contested.
Falls a lot now because now they're one down on a crit viewer situation, which is always awkward. Unless you can surprise, and you don't want to be close in these situations as much as it helps. With the surprise factor, you really don't. Because if you pop second, you just die. So they're playing forward here, trying to bait out this Uber. Hopefully, but you know, it has a side effect of there being an Uber in the face. In the meantime, Pollock, Fallon both got behind, Change took a fight as well with Bow on the flank, so they have 3 people behind right now. Which actually puts up a lot of pressure on the backlines. They're in a really tough spot. But it's not that effective. Shamu doesn't hit the shots he needs, and he had time. Could have easily gotten a kill there. Got in trouble, Speedy comes back in time. Does he crater from that? I don't think he will. No, he doesn't, he actually surfs up there. Fritz is up. Jonathan Michael is dying. Fritz is probably getting caught as well now. Pollock might not survive that. Doesn't hit the rocket to Jared, I think. This is a whole lot of a mess for King's Fury at the moment. Because they're just so far back now, and so weak due to everything that happened. This crit just doesn't do anything. Auto sneaks in there, gets the kill. Might actually get an on. No, neither of them want to commit to that. This big mess. Changed even backup at some point? Wow. That was a huge mess, and he's still hiding. Get spotted there. And if still on crits. Success rate is pretty unsatisfying at the moment. They aren't this ad already, so So yeah, just passive hold. They know they can't do much here. Like at best you can have a sniper maybe, but they tried that already a lot of times and it didn't really come to fruition here on second. So yeah, they're just spamming. Trying to maybe be able to get a sneaky kill here. Maybe force Sky early. But it's not finding too great success, so they're just leaving. Velocity is taking this as an opportunity though instead. Want to play fast from low. They think advantage is bigger than it is, but at the same time they're probably also thinking it's not crits again. After the last one just failed. So they want to use this like, what's it if it was Uber, like 50 ad or something maybe? If this was normal Uber? I need to go to town with that. People not as close anymore, but hey, they're in before a great deal of setup is there. The heavy is doesn't spawn still. Stock at least will be caught by surprise factor, maybe? Yeah, he will, okay. So it's not bad, terrible at least. It's still not great, but there's no sticks on the point. Demo, lack of demo still hurts. It's heavy, however, could be evil. And I don't know if they know. They might not, it comes out now. We're still on, so popped a little early. There it goes. Now I wanna just play this out a little bit. There we go. Shabu is surviving this for way too long, plus Anif getting jumped completely alone there. While Pyro is going aggressive. And real nice aggression on the left side now. Or onto the left side, I should say. By Velocity, just... Point play was just too much. Like, it just baited out the crits to be on the point instead of anywhere else. And it was, again, this sort of lose-lose situation where whichever way it went for King's Crew, it would still be bad. Like, either they use the crits for the people jumping them or lose the point, or the other way around, which is what happened. And it would need some, like, insane DM to, like, overcome those, like, lose-lose situations in cases like these. Alright, so 4-1 lead, and only 5 minutes now with Ronald as well on the new half here. Bits have been alright for King's Crew for the most part. This time early jump behind by Poldark, misses this shot, tries to get behind with that, so that's still fine. Both scouts react really fast though. And then takes this as an opportunity though to just jump Sky. Downwards rocket onto her, which means easy time cleaning that up, no way to serve that. Works pretty well. In the meantime, lots of damage onto the point. Speedy CVS from left and right, Kitchen. Jared just over the point gets so much damage, so despite losing the medic here, Velocity still have better health at the moment. And better numbers for that as well. Sure, Poldark intended to survive that and just distract. But with both soldiers dying, they need to play this either a lot more careful or just recommit with Uber. And yeah, they're just losing numbers too quick. Speedy jumps in. Nice cleanup here. So jump from hiding. And conceptually, again, pretty nice play, but losing both soldiers there just didn't hurt too much. And they had too much damage on them to begin with to actually like comfortably be able to stay anywhere. So this is happening. At least they're having fun. Alright. People are back up. Things can happen again. Well, Shawu died at some point, I don't know where. King's Crew wants to take advantage of that though. With Anifin being pretty aggressive there. He gets really lucky there, because the stakes were not blown away early. Boar and Speedy want to get behind, but once again, people are playing slow from here, which I really appreciate. Just bait them in from Catwalk. And Catwalk is like where the most disasters happen after Kitchen in terms of backups on this map. People just don't check it, so they're just playing really slow here. With going in from Catwalk. Way two people in. CVS still gets too close for comfort. And nobody's reacting in time, so Anif's like probably dead. Oh no, that was a beef. That juggles high. At this point he can't one-shot him with a rocket from this height. So overall, Anif is getting really lucky there. With the shots of his teammate, he's just doing pretty much exactly what he needed to survive that. Otherwise, decent entry. I like this delayed entrance into mid here with people trying to get a backup in or something. Or even just a flank play onto Anif. Anyway, they want to use opening, but it's kind of not working because everybody's so slow with Jonathan already being on second. And just asking to die. So, welcome to the stalemate. Here's an entry pick to make something happen, I guess. And Demo crashes. Nice. Why actually? That's surprising. I mean, I know ESEA demos end early, so we never really see like the proper ending of a game. But why did that one happen? Weird. Back again. like 20 something minutes into this demo. So skipping to that part could take a little bit.
One.
Would not be super hidden. Yeah. Alright.
The control point is being contested.
So yeah, this is in halftime, okay.
Alert. The control point is being contested. Alert. The control point is being contested.
I have to ask him, but if there's a way to show the tick counter at all times while watching a demo.
Alert. The control point is alert.
So when something like this happens, I don't immediately forget.
One. Alert. The control point is being contested. Alert. The control point is being captured.
So,
The control
to remind myself, Velocity gets the first round here in a matter of like 4 minutes or something. I think.
alert. The control point is being contested.
And then we go to the mid-fight, a little bit afterwards, Jonathan Michael dies trying to chase, and pretty much then is when the demo crashed.
Our
I think.
control point. Capture time has been added.
Just to remind myself what happens. If it crashes again, there's nothing I can do. Well, I mean, maybe, but
Point is being captured. Time has been added. Alert. The final alert.
like not alone. You'd have to ask smart people of TF2. So it is mid-fight again.
The control point.
Decent attempt at a solid play, and it did kind of find success, but you know. Alright. Oh no, I was thinking of a different situation. Anyway, here they come try to back in. He just walks over 2 sticks and they were blown away afterwards. So that's really lucky. And they come in late, deal with people trying to back up. CVS technically has the right play here, but just gets super unlucky with everything he does.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
And yeah, this is where Jonathan overextends.
Control point is being captured.
He doesn't crash again. Speedy dies. No, it does not look like it crash again. EVS dies as well, so now I need to pay attention again some more. There we go. Okay, 2 people die. One was a play, the other one I don't know really.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
All dies. Okay, so Flank just pushed with 2 sollies. And Pollock just kills 2 on his own. I guess that's one way to do it. Velocity complies, take this exchange. Well knowing that they can't really contest this at all. Waste time for spawns to come in, but the only one that is already here is Speedy.
Alert. Our control point is being captured.
So I would have liked to see a little bit of fast entry by Kingsway, especially after what I've seen before. I feel like they would have gone for a lot faster entry here. Be able to like get in a little bit closer before the heavies were here now. Fella needs to commit here as well. He just can't stand back and spam. He just needs to get something. Even if it's just Sky, which on paper is a decent pick on the last push here with 30%. Not necessarily the one you want. But it at least secures recontestability if nothing else goes goes well, assuming NF survives. But he just does the jump way too late, the scout spawn. Well, one scout spawns in Roma. So that goes absolutely nowhere. And strange turn of events this time on last lap too slow instead of too fast. And just get rolled over on the way out. And that's the optimal case of leaving Snake second, or Snake last even. Because now there's no chance of getting back up because everything is dead.
Time has been added.
So yeah, King's taking too much time. Jump needed to be faster, everybody else needed to be in faster as well.
Alert. The control
And just more collective commit instead of just like awkwardly trying to like wait there. Hoping for something else to happen, but just kind of letting Velocity get time to have people back up and just ruining the advantage coming in. Alright, CVS dies, boss playing fast and aggressive, dies for it as well, trying to chase somebody down. I don't know where CVS died. up here, okay. So Velocity give up 2 players on ad, which is really strange because they really didn't need to chase anything here. Like there was really absolutely no reason to. They're still playing relatively aggressive here. But tries to make a play. Obviously can't really expect that because it's strange for them to be where they are, but it works. So that was a really interesting play by Velocity that goes bad on the later half here with like nobody being on the same page afterwards. The Sky just walked back to mid trying to play it safe, but nobody else was. And they already got NF +1. So they really didn't like need to lose that many people here. So I like the play coming by Velocity, being aggressive there, in the expectation that A, something will jump onto mid, expecting them to be like anywhere else but in kitchen. And B, people being close here so they can just pop onto them, get the medic, maybe get some more. But afterwards, like nobody else knew what to do anymore, it felt like, and Sky was just left completely alone. Everybody else was all over the place, just slowly dying. So good coming in, bad coming out. And it goes crits here, and it will give him like 10 ad or something, I think, for the time these Ubers are at 100. Or his one is. Assuming there's like normal building involved. Or any building on his part, and that's not the case, so never mind. So again, Velocity thinks they have like bigger ad than they do. Because they probably can't expect the crits, and that's where the game ends. So we just have to like fill in the blanks here with an ESEA demo, unfortunately. But it was Uber versus crits, and the crits wasn't even up yet. A little bit unfortunate, but that's life with ESEA demos, unfortunately. Still a decent game. There were some interesting things involved, and yeah, get more next time. Looks like everything went pretty well. Means I can also up my bitrate again going forward. Because I still had a little bit lower from yesterday, which was kind of bad. Still have one more, but I'm gonna separate the VOD here and start the stream.